And something else that I'd like to know about, and those watching this video perhaps, is how this relates to the book that you've published. So and maybe you can just share a few words about the book as well, so people can look it up and maybe go deeper on this subject and how it relates to other themes within your book. Can you share a few words about that?
Yes. So the first thing we have to understand is, from my perspective, the more you want to create innovation and to adapt to the market, the more you need to make sure that your people have low levels of conflict, or can be high as long as they can solve it in a positive way, as I said. Second, they need to understand, or people need to understand, what organizational health is. And for me, the key here is a definition I have for enterprise agility. That for me, enterprise agility is the capacity for the organization to just try to build some product or something that's going to impact in a positive way in the market, but it has to have, whatever you do in the company, high levels of organizational health. Because imagine you have a deadline next week, and then you try to meet that deadline and you make people work extra hours. That's not sustainable. So we need to look after organizational health all the time. And other things I also designed is a couple of frameworks that people can use when they need to create something I called powerful change plans or strategies. So imagine that you have a couple of options. You want to change something in the organization. You have 5 different options. How do you know which one is going to work better? I mean, some people can say, yeah, until you don't try it, you don't know. Yeah, that is true. But there are certain things that you need to consider in those plans in order to make sure that you amplify impact. And in my book, I also talk about certain frameworks that help people amplify the impact of those change plans, but at the same time looking after organizational health. So as you can see, we started probably 95% of people started trying to coach IT teams, and then we ended up trying to help the whole organization.
Yeah, it's interesting how the movement, the agile or the lean agile movement, has occurred within organizations, that it has found roots and developed strength within IT. But in recent years, particularly around enterprise agility, and some people term it business agility, it's looking at the whole system of the organization, and not only from the flow of value, it's also around, as you say, the health of the organization, the values, the principles, the relationship between the teams and their leaders. It's becoming all-encompassing, and it's a very fascinating time for the movement. It may fragment, it may become, it may cross the chasm into areas where things may lose its first principles, but certainly there's a fascinating explosion of enterprise agility or business agility into other fields where it didn't really exist 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So it's really fascinating. And I see how this links into individual, team and organizational health, what with your raising the thorny, almost taboo subject of psychopaths and narcissists.